Now, if you've ever wondered where the murals at your favorite hotels, malls, or even the airport come from, well, we found one that you may recognize. This past October, LAX installed a new mural by California-based artist Allison Kunath. California Live's Jessica Vilchis had the chance to meet up with the internationally known artist in her Ventura studio and even learned a thing or two about drawing.
All right, Allison, what is your earliest memory of painting, or really just art in general?
It's hard to pinpoint exactly a moment, but I just remember growing up making art with my dad around our kitchen table, like around meals, drawing together, doodling, like making little short stories. It was always just part of our household.
Yeah.
And in the summers, my mom always had a cabinet full of construction paper and pipe cleaners. Like, we weren't allowed to be bored. Like, you're bored, go make something.
Good. Go make something. Go get creative.
Yeah, it was always a big part of our family.
So were your parents into art, or was this something that they just threw you in to keep you occupied?
I think that they were both naturally talented, but they'd never identify as artists.
Yeah.
But they both had mothers that made things. Like, my grandmother on my mom's side was a quilter, and my dad's mom made ceramic art. So hobbyists, but it came from both sides.
Definitely in the blood, for sure. It's down the pipeline.
Definitely.
So at what point, while you were growing up, because I'm assuming you continued painting and drawing, at what point did you decide, hey, this is something that I actually want to do as a career?
I mean, I think as soon as that question started getting asked, that was my answer. Like, I want to be an artist, but I also had like a caveat. Like, I'd love to be an artist, but I don't want to live with my parents for the rest of my life in their basement. So I think I kind of had the societal fear that that was unsustainable and impractical. And it wasn't until after my freshman year of college, doing a major that was totally unaligned, that I realized there's no option. Like, I have to do something that's creative, otherwise I won't survive. My soul won't survive.
While every artist has a unique stamp to their pieces, I was curious to know where her inspiration came from.
The answer for that, while the expression's totally varied, it's always relationships. So for pieces like this is more about my relationship with myself. They're meditative processes, so a lot of it is about self-reflection and me just being with myself as the #1 relationship where everything else starts. But then so many of the other ones are finding abstract ways to depict my familial relationships, my romantic relationships, my friendships. Are so important to me. I feel like that's where I learn the most in life, so it's always the most rich terrain.
You worked on something really special. You have a little piece of artwork in LAX International Airport. I say little, but it's actually massive. Tell me about it. How big is it?
It's pretty big. It's just over 3,500 square feet.
That's huge.
It's massive.
Like a house, a big house.
Yeah.
After 4 weeks of morning to night painting with a crew of 8, this truly was a labor of love.
So that piece is a continuation of this series here that really, for me, is about processing challenging moments. It's really about this too shall pass.
Okay.
You know, like, just to break it down, each of these spirals is from like a fresh dip of paint on the paintbrush, and eventually the paint runs out, and I dip again, and it kind of helps me remember that, you know, these hard moments, it's all you see. You're just in this spiral until the next chapter changes. You dip the paint again and you start again.
What is it that you want them to take away when they see your mural?
You know, the title is Everyday Transcendence, and, you know, the hope is that there's this moment where you're stopped by it and it's arresting, and you're just like, oh, hopefully there's a replication of a moment of spontaneous joy, or just, you know, you're getting like a hit of energy and light there.
So what are you working on right now?
Right now I have a couple installations coming up that I'm excited about that they're all nature inspired. There's a few murals in Santa Monica and Long Beach, and I'll paint those this spring.
For those wanting to start their journey as an artist, she has one really important thing to remember.
You know, I think my one piece of advice, the most important one, would be to not get so hung up on perfectionism and this idea of doing it the right way. way. It turns out that the art that's successful is interesting. It has your own unique mark on it.
Yeah.
So I have a style of portraits that I like to do that kind of remove all sense of control because you draw them without looking at the paper.
And while I learned a lot from Allison and even received bonus pro tips on blind portrait drawing, I was very nervous about testing my own hand at this technique. Let's just say I'll leave art up to the professionals.
All right, are you, okay, wait.
Yes!
This is quite scary.
Yes, I love it. I forgot to tell you one thing.
No teeth.
Teeth are hard. I love
I think it's really great.
I love
Allison,
it.
thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
So excited to see everything that you do, and you have such a beautiful way of making paint and paintbrushes come to life, right? So it's
Thank you so much.
really inspiring. So thank you.
Thank you.